What's up, you guys? So I'm here with a new video today, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the ban list. Now, don't freak out. We don't have a new ban list. This was suggested by my good friend Gage, Gage X Scapegoat. He gave me the idea to talk to you guys today about the ban list, give you guys something a little different besides, just the regular content about the meta, but kind of talk about the ups and the downs, the good and the bad of the ban list. As you can see by the title, we're calling it the beauty and the ban list. Now, the thing is that we're going to touch upon what makes the ban list so good, but at the same time makes it so bad, and the things that make it just, it makes you go crazy. As a player, it makes you go crazy. So we're going to get into it. So what's good about the ban list? What's good about the ban list is it completely changes the format. It changes the game most of the time. And I say that because we've had formats that basically repeat themselves with a few new cards being added, a few new cards coming off, a few new cards getting banned, and honestly, you end up sometimes in the same format. Perfect example, Burning Abyss have been around forever. They've survived how many lists where Dante's still at 3? And that's like the perfect example, is that you can get a lot of new decks coming out, you can get a lot of new things, there can be a lot of positive change, but then you can have cards like that and decks like that that just remain forever, and it basically keeps you kind of in the same format. And a lot of people don't like that. They feel like it's stale and stuff, but that's one thing, is that it's supposed to change the format. It's supposed to change it to where decks that weren't playable are now playable. Decks that were probably on top are now, cut down a bit, and you're going to be able to play more decks. Like a really good example was during Dragon Ruler Spellbook Evil Swarm format. Basically, it was only spellbooks and dragon rulers just duking it out. You'd have your occasional Evil Swarm player, and when the dragons finally got hit, when they finally got hit, Nationals was over. New decks came to the light. We were able to play decks like Shadal's, decks like Burning Abyss when they first came out, decks like Satellarknight. You had all different kinds of decks, and we were in what I would consider a pretty healthy format because there were more decks. The problem now is that a lot of decks are just surviving through lists, and they just, they continue format after format. And while we do have new decks, a lot of the old decks are still prominent. They're still probably the better decks, and it almost ends up being like the same format. Like Burning Abyss have just been around forever. They just won Liverpool. They've won so many YCSs that you feel that the deck is just never going to go anywhere. The problem with that is that there really is no change then in that case. If the same deck is still winning, if the same deck is still topping, then there is no change. So that's one thing that the ban list does that can actually be bad. But other than that, I think for the most part, the ban list does a good job of changing up the game when they get it right. Other good things about the ban list, it gets rid of problems, and that's a huge one. Getting rid of the problems like overpowered cards, overpowered decks, overpowered formats, it fixes that problem usually by mitigating the deck a little bit. They make weird changes, like the latest one with our latest list, as you guys see here, was Kaiser Coliseum getting hit. I mean, that was just the weirdest. That was honestly just like one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. So I think it's pretty crazy that that was something that happened. But I mean, other than that, it did change the format a little bit. Outside of Dante sticking around, we got decks like Blue Eyes. We got Performer Pals were hit a lot, so it wasn't as crazy with Monkey Board. So we did get new decks. New decks are now out. So for the most part, it did, I guess, like fix some problems. Cosmos lost a lot of power, so they went down a bit. Blue Eyes was too new, so it couldn't get hit. So it did do, a decent amount of stuff. I think the list was decent. However, I think they still could have done more to Burning Abyss. They didn't do that much to, like, they only hit like Seer, and they only hit a couple cards. They didn't really hit the problem, which was Dante. So I find that very interesting that, that was something that was done. But I also look at it as a positive because at least it brought change and it got rid of some problems. And I guess any more positive stuff the ban list does do is it can affect card prices in a good way. It can make some cards go down so they're easier to pick up. However, it can also, on the flip side, make other cards go up. Now, that can be a positive thing if you were someone that's held on to certain cards for so long. They can go up in value and you can, get some money out of it. So I think that's good. So that's what's good about, like, the ban list, is that it's supposed to change our game, and it's supposed to make it to where we have new formats every couple months. And what's bad about the ban list? I'm going to talk about the number one thing that I just get so annoyed at, is that these spontaneous lists where we do not know the release date. None of us knew it was going to be August 29th when the ban list dropped. No one knew that that was going to be the start date. No one knew at all that that's what was going to happen. If you look, it was April, May, June, July, August. It was a 5-month ban list. And in the past, we were used to a 6 months ban list with, with like 2 changes a year. And that was fine. We all knew that. The problem with this, just spontaneous ban list is that when you don't know the date, you can't really prepare. Sometimes they do it a week before a YCS. If you've been testing with a deck for weeks to months on end and then they automatically just kill your deck and you have to pick up something new, that really sucks. Not only do you have to invest money into a new deck, if you don't have the cards, you lose money on the deck that you used to play. So I feel like things like that are just really, really bad, ban list wise. Other things that are bad is that I don't feel enough thought is put into ban lists as of recently. I don't feel that much real thinking process put into it when they ban certain cards, when they limit certain cards, when they bring certain cards back. I don't think they really listen to us players. I feel like they just leave things the way they want them. They do things like basically like a business would to make money, and that's like another topic is that the ban list is designed to make them more money. And you can't get mad at that to a certain extent because they are a company and they do want to make money. However, they don't listen to us players enough and really analyze what the problem is. If they actually looked at the YCS stats for like all around the world, they could pretty much build a good list just based off that, saying, okay, this is the deck that's been winning consistently. We need to do something about it. This is a deck that hasn't been winning. We need to bring it back. We need to do stuff to bring it back. And I feel that that's something that's lacking on these ban lists. They really need to, listen to the players. They really need to talk to us, ask us questions, and they really need to think more so than just money. But however, a company isn't going to do that, so I can't really say that that'll ever happen. However, I feel that if they took the time to listen to us, if they took the time to really analyze the formats and see what's really the problem is in the game, then maybe we'd have healthier formats. Other things, like I said, the price spikes. Certain cards will come back out of the blue, you're not prepared for it, and they just skyrocket. Certain cards will get banned and they'll just tank. Your whole deck will just tank, and you invested so much money into it. Like Cosmo, for example, when Cosmo had 3 Dark Destroyers and everything, even with the Gold Series reprints, once Dark Destroyer went to 1, E-Tele went to 1, the deck lot fell out of popularity. People who invested all that money into Cosmos really took a hit because no one wanted the deck. You couldn't really sell the deck. People weren't playing it. People didn't think it was that good. So you did take a hit in that deck. And I feel like when things like that happen, it really sucks for players just all around because if you were looking to pick up the deck, it's now so weak you might not want to play it. If you were playing the deck for months on end, you just lost, your main deck. You just lost like a huge part of what you've been playing, and I feel like that can be really unhealthy for for the formats. Is that you really lose money in the process, and you lose out to play something you've been testing with forever. Like if you prepared for a YCS and they drop a list a week before that YCS, like I said, and you were playing something else and that deck got hit, you're out of luck, and then you have to go invest into a new deck or not even go at all, and that can be a real damper just on the game. And that's why I feel a lot of players quit, is that when things like that happen, they feel like they're really not thinking about the players, they're only thinking about themselves. So we don't really we don't feel valued in the community, and that can be a real issue. So those are the things like I've noticed mostly about the ban list. I think like overall, if they really listen to us, if they would send out surveys or something about ban lists before they release it, I think they would actually be more effective because we would be able to tell them, okay, this is the problem, can you fix it? This is the problem, can you fix it? And maybe we would get somewhere. And I think through that, maybe we would have healthier formats, better formats. And I don't personally, I don't think this format is that bad. A lot of people don't agree with me, but I feel like we do have a decent amount of decks, doing well right now. However, I feel like in the future, for our future ban list, whenever it is, that they should maybe do a questionnaire, they should do a survey, they should really listen to us. They should even ask us at YCS events, what cards do you feel are the biggest problem in this game right now, and address that. If that were to happen, I think that'd be awesome. Other things about the ban list, like I said, my biggest one is the date. I wish we could just get on a consistent, either 4-month ban list, 6-month ban list, and just let us know when to prepare. Like, we need time to prepare as players. We cannot be just sprung out of nowhere like, oh yeah, on the 24th of, like as it shows, on the 24th of August, guess what? We just dropped a new ban list. Guess what? It's taking effect in 5 days. You have 5 days to change your deck. That really sucks. So I feel like that is one of the biggest issues in the game right now. And for something that I feel is probably the most influential document in this game, I feel the ban list is the most influential part of our game right now. I feel like a lot more effort could be put into it and a lot more should be done with us players, because after all, it is our game. We are the ones that's giving them money. I feel like if they actually wanted us to remain in the game a lot longer, they could come to us. And I think that if they did that, there'd be a lot more players that would come back. There'd be a lot more new players, and there'd be a lot more, just more happy players. And I think that's just really important. So yeah, those are the things I wanted to talk about today. I feel the ban list is so influential in our game that we really need to, analyze, every format, as it comes by, that this is going to be what dictates how we play. This is going to dictate how the market's going to go and everything. And I feel that if if they listen to us and they let us make more decisions, decide more, to give them ideas, I feel we'd actually have a healthier game. And like I said, I don't mind this format. I feel like we've been through worse formats, but I also feel that if, like I said, if they listen to us more, I think we could just have a more enjoyable game overall. And I think that could be something hopefully that happens in the future. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about the ban list? And I mean that in the sense, what do you feel it accomplishes for a game? Do you feel that in the last couple of years, I'd say the last like 2 or 3 years, do you feel they've solved problems? Do you feel they've solved problems, or have they created more problems? I really want to see what you guys say, so be sure to comment that down below. I feel that it's kind of in the middle. I feel a lot of problems have been solved, but a lot of new problems have crept up due to certain bannings, certain limitings, and bringing certain cards back. And I feel that once those issues get addressed, like I said, we'll have a healthier game. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. A little something different. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Let me know any other discussions you'd like to see here on the channel. I'll be sure to bring them to you guys. I hope you guys are liking the more frequent uploads. If so, let me know, and I'll keep on a more steady upload rate of 5+ videos a week if I can. I just like doing discussions because I feel they accomplish a lot. I'm going to bring back some of my old segments like Damn I Miss This Deck and other stuff soon. I'm just working on a couple ideas for what decks I want to talk about. So I'll definitely be bringing that to you guys as well. But I think you guys are really enjoying these discussions. It's something different. And like I said, since our ban list is probably the most influential part of our game, it's just good to talk about it every once in a while. And while we wait for, our next ban list, this was effective from August 29th of this year till God knows when. Hopefully, we get more answers, as the months pass on, as the formats change. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure to leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.